Welcome back to my YouTube, y'all. It's your man's Diz. Yo, I just found out that today is like the last day that Jump Force is doing online gameplays, and I personally haven't played this game in like freaking damn, probably since COVID started, y'all. Just to be honest. So I ain't played this game in a couple of years, but I'm gonna jump on and do my last few online battles, man, just to say RIP to a good game, man. But if you read the title, you know why we're really here, and it's because I just saw Dragon Ball Z Superhero yesterday, and man, it was good. Like really good. To be honest, Dragon Ball has kind of been on the roll lately. Like if you watch Broly was the shit too. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say this is up there with that, but it's up there for me, and I just want to give you a couple reasons why. Now this video is going to be a little different than my other videos that I do where it's just strictly gameplay. I just want to do a quick review of the movie just to go over what I liked and didn't really like about it. And to be honest, the stuff that I like super outweighed the stuff that I didn't like. So I just need to let y'all know one thing. This movie finally gave Piccolo and Gohan the love and respect they deserve as main characters, man. Like, I grew up on DBZ, man, so like that's the story that I'm used to. I'm used to everybody getting their ass beat, and then, yeah, you beating our ass now, but wait till Goku show up. I mean, come on, y'all. That happened with the Ginyu Force, Frieza, Cell. Anytime a villain shows up, everybody gets their ass beat until Goku comes through and saves the day. Not this time, and that's the one thing that I can say that I really like about this movie, is that Piccolo and Gohan really get that love. But yeah, for those who haven't seen the movie, from this point on, I'm going to be giving spoilers. I'm not going to spoil the entire movie for you because I do want y'all to see it and enjoy it. But I'm just going to go over a couple key things that I liked and what I didn't like. And a lot of that shit is going to include some big spoilers. So you've been warned. If you haven't seen the movie yet, go watch it. Then come back to this video and give it a like. And make sure you also subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. But let's get to it. So basically, this is about the Red Ribbon Army. You know the Red Ribbon Army, y'all. The same corporation that created the fucking androids. They came back, and they're under their leader, Magenta, which is a stupid fucking name, by the way. But, you know, it's Dragon Ball Z. There's literally a dude in there named Trunks. And that's my favorite fucking character, so shut up. But I'm kind of freestyling here, as you can see. Basically, Magenta goes to find the grandson of Dr. Gero, Dr. Hito, who's like a little kid. What makes him special is that his genius is past the level of Dr. Gero. And if you remember, Dr. Gero not only created androids 17, 18, I think 16 too, if I'm not mistaken. You know, he also put his consciousness inside of an android, so he became an android himself. So his grandson is, you know, destined to be even colder than that. But Magenta goes to find this kid, and he basically wants to get, you know, the Red Ribbon Army back to the point where they once were, where, you know, it was about taking over this world and dominating shit. You know, usual villain shit, right? Like I said, it's real simple. He recruits Dr. Hito to basically make him new super powered ass androids. And these are the two androids that you see in the trailer. I'm gonna get to them in a second. But Magenta wants Dr. Hito to make new androids so he can beat the so-called evil Capsule Corp. I'm saying that because the way he sold this thing to Dr. Hito was that Capsule Corp was evil and that they wanted to take over the world. He basically painted them as what Red Ribbon was trying to do. And the reason why he had to do that was because Dr. Hito, unlike Dr. Gero, wasn't really evil. Like, he didn't give a fuck. He was a kid still. You know, he liked Oreos and fucking cartoons and superheroes and shit. He wasn't really a bad guy, you know. He really wanted to be a hero. He just didn't know how to really put his genius toward the right direction. But that right there gives us our basic story. Magenta teams up with Dr. Gero's grandson. He makes androids. They try to take out the fighters of Capsule Corp, and we got our movie. So basically, y'all, it was a whole lot to really like about this movie. I'm not gonna lie. One of the first things that I liked was just the small scale story of it. One big criticism that I got for DBZ is that everything is the world breaking disaster these days. You know, like ever since they had those real big arcs back in the day, it's like nothing they do now can be anything less than planet threatening. Like, if we don't stop this person, he's gonna blow the fucking world up. You know, I don't always need that story, and I like that this story wasn't really like that. Don't get me wrong, Red Ribbon Army is dangerous as always, but I like the fact that they kept it really grounded in small scale. Another thing that I really liked about this movie is the animation, man. To be honest, I heard a lot of mixed reviews about the animation before I went in. Like, there was a lot of people saying, oh, the 3D shit won't work with Dragon Ball because Dragon Ball's a 2D cartoon. You know how people sound when they bitch and complain, man. But I think that shit really worked for this movie in particular. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, I don't want to see all of DBZ in 3D animation, but the shit they used it for worked really well to me. Like during fights, it was hella 360 angles and different stuff going on during fights. It really kind of popped the world out a little bit more. You know, it wasn't just teleporting and us punching each other as fast as we can. You really got to see some hands get thrown. You know, it was decent. So the animation works for me. I know for some people it might not, but for me, I really fucked with that 3D style of animation that they put on here. And one thing I really love is that they really gave Piccolo a big spotlight in this movie. Like he's really the main character of the story. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's Gohan is like the other main character too, but if this was a Batman movie, Piccolo would be Batman, Gohan would be his Robin. But yeah, they really gave my boy time to shine, man. And he does so many dope things in this movie that I was just glad to see it. He reached a new level of power, man. It's dope as hell to see Piccolo back in action. You want to know what's funny about Gohan? He just like his father, man. And I mean, in the best and worst ways. he ain't shit just like how his father ain't shit. And when I say ain't shit, y'all, I'm talking about ain't shit as a father. Like, it was good to see Gohan's daughter in here too. Baby Pan, I'm gonna get there in a second, but you know how Goku put Gohan on Piccolo and basically had him train him? Well, Gohan really does the same thing in this movie with Pan. You see Piccolo training Pan in this movie the same way he was training Gohan. That was just a dope moment for me, man. There's a lot of good callbacks in this movie too. And I'm gonna get to those in a minute, but Gohan is just like Goku, and it's hilarious. It wasn't even just training either. Like Gohan's studying and shit, and he's like, "Yo, Piccolo, can you pick up Pan from school?" So he had Piccolo train Pan, and then after that, go pick her up from kindergarten. Like, you're just not gonna do shit for your kids. If you're a part of that Son Goku bloodline, you're just destined to not be shit as a father. That's all it is. I'm joking around, as you can tell, but when it was time for Gohan to be a father and go rescue his daughter, he was a father. Like. Again, everybody's been talking about that scene with him landing in front of the headquarters after they kidnap Pan. How nuts he goes when Piccolo tells her to fake scream so he thinks she was in trouble. Oh man, it really gives Gohan all the love that he deserved from the original series. I'm not gonna say it fully forgives the Boo series for what they did to him, and even with Super with the green tracksuit and shit. It doesn't all the way make up for that, but it takes a step in the right direction, and I hope we get more Gohan-led stories in the future. Gohan and Piccolo for the win, man. But I gotta say, Baby Pan made this fucking movie for me. She is my favorite character. Baby Pan is best girl. All of that. Put a stamp on it. I can't wait to see how much of a badass she is when she grows up. Speaking of those callbacks I was talking about earlier, there's a scene in the movie with her specifically where Magenta lays out the plan to kidnap Pan from school. He sends 2 soldiers to go get Pan, and the one big swole dude walks up and, you know, pretends like he's like one of her guardians and shit. And Pan out of nowhere knocks him the fuck out right in the stomach, just like Gohan did to Raditz. It was fucking perfect, man. I almost wanted to stand and applaud during that scene. So yeah, nah, Baby Pan for the win. And then again, she's fucking adorable, man. It's hard to not love Baby Pan. And again, like, I'm a 90s kid, bro, so I grew up on GT. You know, I watched GT a lot. GT was the last time that I saw Pan and that she was relevant. And Pan was like a teenager in that show. So, you know, we didn't get a chance to really see her grow up. So I hope that's what Super plans to do. But as we can see, yeah, Pan's gonna be powerful, man. A lot of the comedy in this movie surprisingly worked for me. You know, it's been a long time since Dragon Ball Z hasn't really taken itself seriously like that. Like, Dragon Ball used to be real wacky and shit. Like, one of my favorite jokes of like OG Dragon Ball was when Bulma was trying to tempt Goku.
And I'm not gonna hand it over just because you're a girl.
But your grandpa said to be as polite as possible to... Hey, I know what. Look, I'll trade ya. You let me have your Dragon Ball, and I'll let you have a little peek.
What do I care about seeing your dirty old fanny?
There's a lot of stuff like that in this movie. After Piccolo wishes himself to a better power level with the Dragon Balls, Bulma uses the other 2 wishes to get fucking cosmetic surgery. Like, she wished for a whole fucking BBL. That shit was great, man. And again, there's a lot of other moments like that work in this movie. If there's anything that I would say I didn't like about it overall, though, since we were on comedy, let's talk about some of the comedy that I didn't like. They brought back Trunks and Goten. As you probably saw from like the trailers and shit, they were doing fusion, and it was cool, but they never showed, you know, the fusion working. And it's because of the fact that when they did fuse in the movie, they fused in the fucking Fat Gotenks, man. They bought Fat Gotenks back, and it blew me because Fat Gotenks wasn't about shit, man. And he had his whole ass out the whole 3rd act, man. That shit didn't work for me, dude. And the reason why is because I wanted a cool moment from them, you know? I wanted to see them do some of that raw shit that they was doing in GT, man. You know what I'm saying? Turning into Ghost or something. But Goten and Trunks aren't even like the main part of the story, so I'm not tripping on that so much. There's a lot of names in this movie that just didn't work for me either. Like, don't get me wrong, I know it's Dragon Ball, and in Dragon Ball the names are going to be stupid, but at the end of the movie, when Piccolo reaches that second power level that he wished for earlier in the movie, Gohan came up to him, he was like, hey, that's a cool form, what are you going to call that? And he was like, Orange Piccolo. Like, I'm like, come on, man, y'all could have put more thought into that shit, man. I love the form, I hate the name. The form was cool, like Orange Piccolo was getting it in, he was putting in some work. I hope they use that more in the future, because he was badass. I gotta get to the worst thing about this movie, and this is probably the biggest spoiler that I'm gonna give, but this shit took me all the way out the movie, guys. The main big bad of the movie is not even the two androids, because they were built with hero components. So once they realized that the people that they were fighting weren't really evil or didn't want to kill anybody, they stopped fighting them and started looking at the red ribbon like, okay, what the fuck going on with y'all? I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically what happened. So out of desperation, Magenta goes and releases their new project, which is called Cell Max. Cell Max. I personally got a real big problem with Dragon Ball rehashing their villains, but in the case of Frieza, I get it. Frieza's probably the most known anime villain of all time. He's probably like top 3, and he's not 3, you know what I'm saying? So I get it. Frieza's not gonna die in any capacity. Y'all can just keep killing him and bringing him back. The people are gonna be here for it, including me. It is what it is. I get it. But Cell, the reason why I get so mad about that, y'all, is that Cell had one of the most perfect arcs in DBZ. Like the Cell Games arc, he waited in a fucking ring for 2 weeks for people to run his fade. He was like, yo, this form that I'm in is perfection and it is unfuckwittable. I'm just gonna wait here. Y'all better go train right now. That's all it was. When Gohan reaches his true potential and goes Super Saiyan 2 and really gets to throwing some hands with that nigga, it is one of the most iconic moments in anime. I know people who don't fucking watch anime, but they remember when Gohan turned Super Saiyan 2 on Cell. They remember that. So Dragon Ball, don't bring back Cell in any capacity. And not only because I don't want to see Cell again, but y'all can't bring him back like how y'all tried to bring him back, bro. Cell Max was trash. They did what Batman Forever did to Bane. That's what this movie did to Cell. He was just walking around roaring, roar, just stomping on shit. It was almost like a Cell Godzilla. I don't need that in the movie, bro. I was not here for Cell Max, bro. Cell Max, that was a garbage idea. I don't need to see no more villains that I've seen before. I know DBZ villains are iconic, and it's hard to keep making really good villains when you keep making banger after banger. But it's not impossible though. You know, y'all done that shit in Super. In Super, you got fucking Jiren. They can come up with new, better villains if they want to. So again, Cell Max, the only thing that I can deem in this movie as trash. Other than that, I love the movie. I fucking enjoyed it. It's great. Shout out to Baby Pan for being best girl. Every time she was on screen, I smiled. I hope she appears more in the future Super seasons that they air. But great story, y'all. Go see it. I'm going to give it a score of 8 out of 10, guys. If you're tired of Piccolo getting hold, if you're tired of Gohan being a fucking geek all the time, you're going to love this movie. Go see it. That's all I got for you today, man. If you enjoyed this review, man, let me know what other movies or TV shows, whatever you want me to review on the channel. I'm just experimenting right now because, again, I saw this movie yesterday and it had me so excited I just had to talk about it. But make sure you guys like this video and also subscribe to the channel. And until next time, y'all, peace.
Dragon, dragon, walk the dragon, dragon, ball, sing. Dragon, dragon, walk the dragon, come, come, get me.